All right. Good morning. Thank you all for joining us. We're just going to allow those who are coming in to get connected. And if you could go ahead and leave your video on mute. And if you have any questions, please utilize the chat box. We'll be going ahead and answering any questions that you guys may have through there. Raise your hand, use some emojis to let us know if there's anything that you guys may need throughout this. And hopefully we will get to go and rock and roll pretty quickly so that way we can give you guys some time. But please don't hesitate to ask any questions in the respects of time. So looks like the time is 9:32. So let's go ahead and get started. So welcome to the K-12 Skilled Trades Workgroup meeting. Today is March 11th, and we are going to be going over the MC3 and over the career of an electrician. So we wanted to talk about a little bit about this work group and what it's intended for. So obviously our idea was going to be here for educators and staff to link together and network. So our target audience is going to be like counselors and CTE teachers and just teachers who are looking to learn more about an area that they're not really fluent with. So that way when they talk to their students in high school about all the careers that are possible, they can go ahead and share these ideas about skilled trades and the careers and the vast opportunities that come along with it. The idea is for the contractors to come on board to these meetings and network with teachers in case they would like for them to have any presentation in their class, or if they have a student who is interested in learning more and would like to speak with somebody, do a tour at their facility, or just really have any general questions that need answers. So that way you guys can network together and create a contact list here. We want to make sure the counselors and teachers get better acquainted with skilled trades and the amazing pathways. So yeah, that is our workbook intention. Today's meeting outline is right here in front of you guys. We're going to do a little welcome and intro with the chat box. We're going to have an MC3 overview with Brian Peabody, who is the local training coordinator for the local 286 plumbers and pipe fitters. And then Jessica Garay is going to give us some LMI data. She is our data and career project coordinator here at Workforce Solutions Capital Area. And then after that, we're going to do an overview of the electrician pathway. And that's going to be held by Mark Pendleton. He is with the IBEW. And then we have upcoming announcements, events, and then any questions that you guys may have, we'll be sure to answer them at that time. So let's utilize this chat feature. I want you guys to go ahead and put in here your name and position so that way we can start and allowing you guys to network with any contractors that are here on board. I know a lot of them are looking to get into certain school districts. So if you are a part of that school district, I want you to identify yourself so that way you guys can connect via email or, over the phone. So if you could put your name and position and then what you're looking forward to learning today, and then just a fun fact about you. I allowed you guys to go ahead and input that. Awesome. Welcome, Gonzales High School, Del Valley ISD. We got the local 286 here, Austin ISD as well. And we got Round Rock in the house as well, ISD Assistant Director of CTE. So happy you're here, Peggy. And we also have a CTE specialist with AISD, Jordan. Thank you for being here. Hello, Darcy. And we have Shannon Scriven, who is the Career and Education Outreach Specialist with Workforce Solutions Capital Area for Elgin, Manor, and Pflugerville. We also have a construction trainer coordinator with American Youth Works. So welcome. Thank you so much for attending. All right, we got Goodwill coming in from Skilled Trades Instructor. Fun fact, he met with Michelle Obama. That is awesome. Very cool. I am jealous. I will not lie. We got Bobby in the house. He is with the Carpenters Apprenticeship and Training Center here in Austin and San Antonio. Alexis, thank you for joining us. She's with Goodwill Career and Technical Academy. Wonderful. We have Lone Star Construction Trades here as well with Rebecca. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, you guys continue to look through who's here, who you can connect with, say hello. You can chat them if you'd like to exchange an email, so that way you can start forming that relationship, because that's what this is all about. And if you have any questions, again, use the chat box. We'll go ahead and move forward for respective time. So we have Brian Peabody up first. He's actually going to have to check out a little early before 10. So we're going to allow him some time to present and ask questions. So he's going to give us the MC3 overview. He is with the local 286 plumbers and pipe fitters. And so Brian, if you want to go ahead and go, just let me know when you would like for me to skip to the next slide.
Perfect. Thank you, Stephanie. I see a lot of familiar faces in here. So thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm not going to take up too much of your time today. Just wanted to give you guys a brief update, make you aware of what the MC3 program is if you haven't already been exposed to it. I know a lot of folks in here have. So for you guys, I'll be giving a little bit of an update about it. So a little bit about MC3. It was created by NABTU, North American Building Trade Unions. It provides folks an opportunity to get a look at what the different skilled trades look like. A lot of folks that are coming out of high school or maybe looking for a career change later on in life, they see an opportunity with construction. They may just not know which route they want to pursue. And this class gives them a really good idea of what each of these individual trades look like on a day-to-day basis. It lets them know what the training looks like. It lets them know what to expect on the job when they get out there, some of the skill sets that they may need, some of the tools that they may be required to provide, things of that nature. So it really helps with our retention rates when they come in, they don't leave the plumbers and pipe fitters because they realize once they're out there on the job that they prefer the work that the electricians or the iron workers or the sheet metal workers or the insulators are out there doing, because they've already gotten a look at everyone and kind of have an idea of what they're getting into. While we do that, they also are getting a lot of different pieces of curriculum that I'll touch on here in just a second. But you can see here, we operate over 1,900 privately funded cutting-edge apprenticeship training centers across the United States and Canada. So a lot of money is being put into the training for these programs. And that's why we want to give these folks a little bit of an introduction before they get into the program, so that they know what it is that they're making a commitment to. And it does represent 14 different unions and all of their members. I don't think we have a slide that shows all of the trade partners, but if you log on to NABTU.org, you can see a list of everyone that's included in that. You can go to the next one, Stephanie. So a little bit about the curriculum. You can see here, it's made up of required topics and elective topics. So we have the ability to kind of shape this class the way that we want to shape it, by filling some of these elective topics with things that may benefit them more than others. But the required topics, we do the construction industry awareness, the construction trades awareness, construction health and safety. So they do leave the class with an OSHA 10 card, a first aid and CPR certification as well. We cover hand tool safety materials. They do 40 hours of construction math, heritage of the American worker, and diversity in the construction industry. We talk a lot about diversity awareness, sexual harassment, women in the workplace. We're seeing more and more women in the workplace. And being that this class was designed to help make these programs a more diverse place, they are specifically targeted at women, transitioning veterans, and folks that are coming out of underserved communities. So, it's good to talk about these things. And like I said, the elective topics, they give us the ability to, kind of plug and place things that we feel might be more beneficial. So there have been times where we've taken those elective topics and maybe put a few more hands-on aspects into it. I know this last class, they actually got to build some tool trays that they can use going forward. So that was pretty neat. Got them an opportunity to to build something that they can take with them when they leave the class and get some experience with the tools. You can go to the next one. Some of the pictures that we put in here that kind of show you what this class looks like. So you can see we have some industry partners, DeWalt and Milwaukee, they come in. DeWalt in this picture is doing silica dust training. So just making them aware of some of the safety things that they need to be aware of before they get out there and go to work. We do go around and tour different training centers. So the top middle picture is the sheet metal hall, the sheet metal training center. The top right, they're here in our training center learning how to lay out some lines using a chalk box and using some of their math from the class. You can also see they're taking a look at one of our welders. The bottom middle is the iron workers. So we stop by there to check out what they do. Obviously the CPR, the first aid, they have to do a hands-on demonstration so that they can get that certification. You can go to the next one. There is a portion of the class where we call it mock interviews. Eventually we're going to stop calling it mock interviews because it never fails. They always seem to leave with job offers. If these contractors have hiring needs, we ask them to come in to help prepare these folks for interviews later down the road. They come in, they get to talking. You sit down across the table with an electrical contractor and you tell them you want to be an electrician. If they like you, 9 times out of 10, they're offering them a job right there on the spot, which works out well. We've seen a lot of success with it. At the end of the class, pre-COVID, we've kind of stepped back a little bit from holding the big graduation ceremonies, but once we get through this pandemic, we'd like to get back to the fun stuff. But we were holding these graduation ceremonies where we kind of made it like a college signing event, where we call them up individually by name. We announce which program they're going to, which contractor they're going to work for, and then they actually sit down at the table and sign a work referral to go to work. So it made it fun for them. They could invite their family, their friends, anyone that wanted to attend. So I'd like to get back to doing that because it was a good time. You can go to the next one. We do have a slide here showing some of the success that we've had with the classes that we've held so far. To date, we've had 160 total students enrolled in the Austin area. Keep in mind, this MC3 program is not something that belongs to us. It's all across the United States and Canada. But here in Austin, we've had 160 students enrolled. Out of that 160, 138 have completed the class and graduated. Those folks that didn't graduate, it's usually because of lack of attendance. It's not because we failed them or anything like that. They have to fail themselves. They're not allowed to miss on a certification day, and they're only allowed 1 absence on a non-certification day. If they miss more than that, then we have to drop them, and they can retake the class. We've had a couple do it. But out of that 138 that completed the course, 92 of those folks that successfully completed the MC3 program have successfully enrolled in a registered apprenticeship program. So they're out there in the registered apprenticeship programs now taking classes and working full time. So we're pretty proud of that. Every single student that has graduated the MC3 program has been offered a job and has gone to work. We've had a few turn down the job offer. Once they go through the class, they graduate and decide, but very, very few. So we're pretty proud of the success that we've had so far, and look forward to doing a lot more of these in the future. You can go to the next one. So a slide in here about from one of our graduates, Abigail Layton. She's now a first-year apprentice with the IBEW Local 520. Funny story about her, she came into the class 100% wanting to be a plumber pipe fitter. She came in telling me, this is where I want to be. I want to be a plumber. I want to be a plumber. I want to be a plumber. And then at the end of the class, she realized she didn't know a whole lot about what being an electrician looked like. And it was something that interested her more, which is great, because had she have come to us without knowing, once she got out on the job and was around the electricians, seeing what they do for a living, we probably would have lost her later on down the road. And I keep in touch with the graduates, and she seems to be doing a really good job over there. You can go to the next one. So upcoming MC3 classes, if you guys have anyone that is interested and might be available to participate in some of these courses, we have a class coming up April 19th through the 30th. The courses are 2 weeks long. They do have to participate every day, and they're in class all day from 7 o'clock in the morning until 3:30 in the afternoon. So it is a little bit of a commitment, but for 2 weeks worth of their time, they can get their foot in the door and start pursuing a spot with one of these programs that's going to provide them with a lifelong career. After that class, we have a few targeted classes that we like to hold right after high school graduation. I noticed a lot of you guys that were in here today are, partnered up with high schools. Those graduates that are going to be class of 2021 that are coming out, we would love to have them, if they're interested in pursuing something like this, to jump into one of these courses. We have one in June that I think we're going to be setting that we're actually partnered up with Del Valley to use with some of their graduates. I know after speaking with them, they said if there's any open seats left, they're more than happy to have folks from other schools jump in and take those spots so that we don't, so that they're not just sitting empty. The class that we're going to hold in July is open to anybody that's interested. We don't have a date set for it just yet, but once we do, we'll definitely keep everybody posted. And I think Stephanie, after the presentation today, is going to share these slides with everybody who attended. And that apply here now is actually going to be a hot link, so that if you have someone interested, they can click on that link and they can go through the process and get signed up for one of these future classes. You can go to the next one. We've got a few slides here to kind of wrap things up that show you how many people work together to make this all possible. We have contractors from all different parts of this industry that have been willing to step up and come talk to these folks, come talk to these students, come interview these students, offer them employment upon graduation. And this isn't a list of all of them, but this is a lot of them. I know we've had a few more here recently that I need to get added to the slide so that they can get their thanks as well. But you can go to the next one. Another one we've got here shows you some of our partners, like I said, DeWalt, Milwaukee, and then all the trade organizations, the electricians, the sprinkler fitters, local 286 plumbers and pipe fitters, the iron workers, sheet metal, Liuna, so the heat and frost insulators, and the United Brotherhood of Carpenters. So we appreciate everybody that's helped thus far. You can go to the last one. Other folks that have been an integral part of this, as you are well aware, Workforce Solutions, NABTU, Goodwill, Youth Build Austin, Texas Building Trades, TWC, and Workers Defense. So we appreciate everything that everybody's done for us. And like you guys can see, there's a lot of work that goes into this. There's a lot of people that are behind this. And we'd love your help making this more successful. And that's all I've got on that one, Tiffany. That's the last one, right?
Yes, that
all right.
Correct.
So I'm open for questions. If anybody has any questions, I've still got 10 minutes before I've got to jump into another meeting. I see Peggy asked how many students are accepted for each class. So Peggy, we tend to shoot for around 20 to 25. I think we could maybe fluctuate that a little bit if we needed to, if we just had a really large amount of students apply. But in order for them to get the most out of the class, we try to keep it around that 20 to 25 mark, if possible. Did anyone else have any questions?
Yes, looks like Lynn asked, what is the profile of an ideal candidate?
Profile of an ideal candidate, someone who likes to work with their hands, someone who is interested in maybe working in the skilled trades. We get a lot of folks that they've worked outside with their dad or their mom, and they like to work on their vehicles. They maybe took some construction or welding classes in school, but at the end of the day, really it's anyone who's interested in pursuing this and is willing to put the work in. You know, the ideal candidate is a hard question to answer because we've seen so much success from folks who have never done this before, but it was something that sparked their interest. And they may have never touched a hand tool before, but they had the focus and the drive to make it happen. I mean, someone who's able to show up to work every single day on time and is willing to learn and keep a good attitude. I mean, those are probably the four most important things for them to get started, because nobody expects one of these entry-level workers to know anything about being a plumber or being an electrician or being an iron worker. That's what our job is to train these folks once they get into the apprenticeship program. So it's the things that you can't teach. It's the want to learn, the want to be there on time, the accountability factor, the good attitude, things like that, that really take them and make them successful. So hope that answered your question.
Awesome. A question that we typically see here, Lynn also asked, are you noticing that they all have something in common? Is there something that strikes you? Is it, oh yeah, they got it, that's it?
No, that really, we've had such a broad range of folks that have come in and taken this class. Like I said, we've had some that come in with experience. We have some that they thought, well, you know, I heard it was a good opportunity, but I've never really thought about doing construction before, so I just wanted to see what it would look like. So as far as something in common, I would say not really. I mean, they all, if they're successful finishing this course, you know, that shows us that they have the ability to be there every day on time. Because if they're not, then they may not get to complete the class. You know, if they're tardy 3 times, we count it as an absence, and if they get 2 absences, they're dropped from the program. So, you know, I guess that would be the one thing that they have in common, is the ability to be there. Is there any factors that would make a scholar ineligible besides attendance? They have to be able to legally work in the United States. They have to be 18 years old to join an apprenticeship program. So we do ask that they are either 18 years old or going to be 18 by, what's the date? Usually, I think it's around August or September. I'd have to look. That's about it. Do you know what social media platforms they're using? I know that the MC3 class has a Facebook page. I think they have a Twitter page. To be honest with you, I wouldn't know about NABTU. I'm pretty sure they have a page on all platforms. I would just search for NABTU or MC3 Austin.
You mentioned the minimum age in order to get into the program. Is there a maximum age?
Nope. If they are willing and able to do these jobs for a living, we are an equal opportunity employer. So it's, you know, come put an application in, and if you can mentally and physically do this for a living, we're glad to have you.
Awesome. Is there any more questions before we go? I know before Brian goes, he has about maybe 5 more minutes, but to allow him to get to his next meeting, is there any other questions that you guys may have? If you don't feel comfortable chatting it, you can raise your hand on your video and we'll go ahead and allow you to unmute yourself so you can ask him. Looks like Allison asked, is there any flexibility around the GED diploma requirement?
Yeah, unfortunately, we require the GED or the diploma for the course, because in order to get into one of these registered apprenticeship programs, the vast majority, if not all of them, require that GED or diploma to get into their programs. So we just don't want to take away from them. So if you know, if they don't have it, I would strongly encourage them to get it and then take the course, not take the course, then worry about getting their GED and then trying to get into the program, because we don't want to lose that. We don't want them to lose that fire. We don't want them to lose that passion. When they go through this course, it gets them excited about getting into one of these programs. So we would prefer them have it on the front end. And I do see a question about, is the program ex-offender friendly? Yes, it is. You know, the one caution I will have is some of these programs require state licensing. So it may hinder them from being able to get the license needed to get into the apprenticeship program. But if they take the MC3 course, we will get them a job and get them the opportunity to get into one of these programs. It just there may be a few that might not be an option at the end of the day. And usually it's not a permanent no. Like with us, the Texas State Board of Plumbing Examiners, they look at each individual case. So, you know, if they have a felony on their record, they're going to look at it and determine, you know, can we give them a license today, or do we need to say, come back and see us in 6 months with proof of rehabilitation, you know, letters of recommendation, things of that nature, that shows that they're giving them a license to go into people's homes. So they want to make sure that they're protecting everyone. But guys, I'm going to drop my my email address and my phone number down in the chat. And if anybody has any questions, you want to reach out and make contact, I'm more than happy to talk to anybody who's interested. Stephanie, thank you so much for having me today. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Brian. You did wonderful, just like Lynn said. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for this presentation and dropping your information for those to get in contact with you with any other questions that they may have. All right. So as he's going to exit, we're going to go ahead and move forward with our presentation. So I wanted to let you guys know just who is presenting today, which is Texas Workforce Solutions Capital Area. I wanted to help identify who exactly we are. We are number 14 on this great Texas little map. If you would kind of see, it's almost like a heart. So if you think of Valentine's Day, the 14th, that is us right smack down. And then 15 would be rural cap, which surrounds the heart. So if you're in any districts and the rural capital area, they will be able to assist you and provide you with any resources in addition to some of the things that we're sharing and posting as well. So we are partnered with 28 local workforce development boards. So anybody across the state of Texas should know about Workforce Solutions, but we are capital area here for the Austin and surrounding counties. So the skilled trades career path we have here is typically when they graduate high school and get their GED is when they'll go ahead and join into that apprenticeship. And then once they start with that apprenticeship as a pre-indentured or a young apprenticeship, they will actually get paid starting either between $13 an hour to $21 an hour. Most apprentices are there for 4 years, but it varies by state. We're seeing about, for a journeyman license, it's taken about 5 years for them to complete. But once they complete their journeyman license, their pay obviously increases every 6 months, but going to high as $35 per hour. If they get master certified or get that contractor license, that can increase even further to $39 per hour. And then of course there's leadership opportunities. They can become service manager, field supervisor, general manager, as well as owning their own company. Many electricians start their own business. If you will see tons of trucks when you're in traffic, you'll see a last name and then the electrician. So you'll see stuff like Smith and Brothers, electrician partnership, or you'll see, Garcia electrician partnership or something along those lines. That is somebody who has ownership of their own company and they made their own boss. So if you have any students who are like, I don't want to work for anybody, I want to be my own boss, well, great. If you go through this is a real in-demand career field. This is something that you could create your own business and either do residential or commercial. Next up, we have lovely Jessica, and she is going to talk about the skilled trades labor market for electricians. So she's going to show us about the in-demand occupations, who's hiring for the electrician field, and kind of what are the trends that they're looking around right now. So let's go ahead and allow her to give us her presentation. And Jessica, just let me know when you need me to skip to the next slide.
Thank you so much. Yes, I am glad to be here today. Just a heads up, my video is not going to turn on because I'm on my last leg of data this week. So we're going to get through this Zoom without any tech failures. But I am really excited to share with you some labor market data. And I just want to say too that I previously worked at American Youth Works and had several graduates go through the MC3 program. And I was talking to Brian with Local 286 yesterday, and a student who graduated from AYW, American Youth Works, 3 years ago is now a year 3 apprentice through their plumbers and pipe fitters program. So I'm super excited for that student to get their license and finish. I can't wait for that success story. So it's been really neat to follow along. But as Stephanie mentioned, this is a high demand career field, electricians are. And one area that Workforce Solutions likes to keep a pulse on is just where the occupations are growing and where occupations are declining. So looking at a recent report we pulled for Austin MSA, we were able to pull a talent supply shortage projected across 10 years for skilled trades in manufacturing. So this chart here shows that maintenance workers and repair workers is a in-demand career field, but there's also a projected shortage. So that -50 is projecting a -50 workers that are skilled and qualified per year across 10 years. And as we go down the list, you're going to see, again, there's going to be a shortage of first line supervisors of construction trades and extraction workers, electricians, which we're focused on today, carpenters, first line supervisors of mechanics, installers, and repairers, plumbers and pipe fitters and steam fitters, industrial machinery mechanics. That's a manufacturing occupation, if you weren't aware. Operating engineers and other construction equipment operators, HVAC mechanic and installers, and then painters, construction, and maintenance. Next to each of these occupations is roughly the average salary that each of these occupations pay. But again, it does depend on whether you're a union member, you may have higher competitive wages, or it really depends on who your employer is. I also have on the right some high demand occupations. Now, this is a little different than severe shortage areas, but this currently, as of Q3 of 2020, were occupations that had high number of employment here for the Austin area. So you see here we have construction laborers, heavy and tractor trailer drivers, laborers and freight movers, again, electricians, carpenters, first line supervisors of construction workers, and plumbers and pipe fitters. Skilled workers make up 11% of the regional workforce, and then manufacturing workers make up 6% of the regional workforce. We can go to the next slide. All right, so electricians are projected as the highest award shortage and most in-demand construction and extraction trade occupations. So I was able to pull an analysis of award gaps based on what employers are looking for and versus the talent pipeline of graduates who are graduating from local universities. So this report was pretty cool to see. Well, not necessarily cool to see, but it's, I'm sure Mark experiences this all the time, that there's not enough skilled and qualified electricians. And this award gaps is saying that. So electricians, there's a -93 in the area of electricians that have a degree for the amount of work that there is here in the Austin area. Following that, again, is first line supervisors of construction trades, plumbers, pipe fitters, operating engineers, construction and building inspectors, highway maintenance workers, and the list goes on. You can see the ones at the bottom are fewer here, but it was pretty crazy to see that electricians has such an alarming shortage of awards here in the Austin area. And that is something that we've heard from some of our employer partners, such as Rosendin. I know Mark shares that all the time. There's just not enough skilled and qualified electricians. We can go to the next slide. Okay, so I also was able to pull a skills gap for electricians here in the Austin area. And really what this report is helpful for, especially those who are instructors in this field or even CTE directors, is really ensuring that your current curriculum is training your candidates and your students on some of these skill sets so they can be better prepared for the workforce, especially if they want to pursue a career as an electrician. So some of the skills gaps you see here are reading schematics, blueprint reading, generators, commercial license, backhoes, excavators, mathematics, heavy equipment operation, multimeters, and cordless drills. So if you have any of these tools or any subject material on any of these topics, I highly recommend you explore these skills with your students. This analysis was gathered from resume data compared to what online job postings are producing out and what they're looking for in qualified candidates. Your candidates may have some of these skills. So maybe even if, as a case manager, as a job coach, really sitting down with your client or student and ensuring that these skills are listed on their resume will help them be more competitive for the skilled trades market. We could go to the next slide. All right, so in my work at American Youth Works, the number one question is, where are the jobs? So I wanted to quickly pull the employers that were hiring in the last 12 months for electricians. So we have Lower Colorado River Authority, City of Austin, Trio Electric, which is a partner of ours, University of Texas, Mr. Electric, LCRA is listed again, Austin Energy, 360 Industrial Services, Facility Solutions Group Limited, John Wayne Company, Ion Solar, and Brandt Companies, which I believe Brandt partners with Local 286 and maybe some of the other union programs on the call. So that's where the jobs are. If you ever want to partner, maybe do an informational interview with some of these employers, that may be a good employer to reach out to. We could go to the next slide. All right, I think these are the last two slides. I wanted to point your attention, and I can post or I can send the link in the chat. We have what we called our targeted occupations list. So every year, Workforce Solutions analyzes labor market data across all industries, all occupations, and we really look at where the severe shortages are and where the middle skill jobs are. So when I say middle skill, what I mean is more than a high school diploma or GED and less than a 4-year degree. There are many jobs that don't require a bachelor's degree, but all a client needs to do is either get a certification, associate's degree, or some on-the-job training to be really successful in the Austin market. Obviously, electrician is one of those middle skill careers, and we have these occupational profiles, which are really handy for students, case managers, teachers. And what it does is it outlines all of the relevant labor market information. So this profile right here is going to tell you what an electrician does, where they work, the wage here in Capital Area, which is also Travis County, the wage in Texas, the United States, and really breaks down everything a student needs to know to make an informative decision on whether they want to pursue this career or not. We can go to the next slide, and it will show you the career ladder. So when I worked at American Youth Works, I always kind of help students understand the entry point, because it can be kind of overwhelming when you're like, oh, I got to go to school for 5 years to become an electrician. But it's like, actually, you can start today. Let's see where you can start. So this career ladder will help a client or a student understand, okay, you can become a helper electrician, or in Mark's case at IBEW, a first-year apprentice. This is the hourly wages you'll be earning, entry level, median wage. This is the type of education experience you need, and you can kind of walk them up this ladder into what an ideal career pathway will be. Now, I want to put a disclaimer out there. The electricians probably pay a little bit more than what our labor market data shares, because this encompasses both private, non-private labor and non-organized labor occupations here in Austin MSA. And then also an electrical engineer may not be the client's pathway. Maybe they just want to be a journeyman electrician. Or even with this recent snowpocalypse we experienced, I'm like, what about lineman workers? I would love to learn more about that. And I think I actually texted Mark and I was like, do y'all train for lineman workers? So that may be another kind of avenue that you can talk to your student about. So I'll post a link here when I'm done talking where these profiles are. And I will say Workforce Solutions will train individuals in any of our targeted occupations listed on our website if the candidate qualifies. They do have to go through a screening process, But if they do qualify, that's free training to get them accelerated into a career path that pays really well. So I kind of stopped there. I think that's the last slide I have, Stephanie. If not, let me know. But thank you all so much for letting me share this data with you today.
Yes, thank you, Jessica. I'm going to go back a couple slides. We had a question regarding this slide in the chat from Molly. She asked, are the trades with the blue bars in the previous slide showing there are more trained people in some areas than those are needed?
Yes, Molly, that's a good question. Ideally, that is the case, that there are individuals that are more skilled in those areas than are needed. But again, just I'm going to put it out there. This is all based on online resumes and online job ads. One thing that I've learned in skilled trades, just generally speaking, is not a lot of online job ads are posted for sheet metal workers, electricians. A lot of it is either done word of mouth or recruitment is done through union halls. So you're not going to see a lot of what's really needed based on this data. So that's kind of a caveat I want to put out there. But essentially, yes, there's more individuals that are trained in these skills than there are job opportunities.
Thank you for answering that for her. Let me see. I think that was the only question we had regards to the data. I think that you explained it very, very well and showed people about our career ladder. So thank you so much for your presentation. We're going to go ahead and move on. It looks like you just had this work-based learning program slide.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I forgot about this one. So I just wanted to put it out there. Having worked with young people, it really helps to have work-based learning programs. So essentially hands-on learning, earn while you earn. So I wanted to just show the partners that Workforce Solutions is currently working with. We have Lone Star Construction Trades Training, who's on the call today. We have Carpenters Union, Local 286, and others. I don't see the MC3 logo. Oh, there isn't an MC3 logo, but essentially Local 286 spearheads that. And these are partners of ours that we're really proud to work with, because they do offer those earn and learn opportunities for your students who really need that hands-on physical approach when it comes to their career pathway. So props to everyone on this page. We have American Youth Works, who I know is on the line, and they have a pre-apprenticeship program. So we are doing wonderful work. If you're ever interested in learning more about any of these, definitely reach out to us. We can give you more information.
Great. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about these slides. I wanted you guys to see these. I used to love going on campuses to schools and seeing bulletin boards of careers and kind of ladders and just kind of like ideas for students to like pass by and read if they're ever passing through passing period or lunch. So this is actually from NABTU. This is just a little screenshot that I was able to take and share with you guys, but it shows the comparison between a four-year college and a registered apprenticeship. So if you have a student who is just like, okay, well, you know, I can't go to college because either I don't have the money or I just don't want to go to college for a career to sit down at a desk, you know, I don't know what else there is for me. You know, sharing the information about skilled trades or a registered apprenticeship and showing them that it's just as great as going to a four-year college, because you're going for the same amount of time, but there's so many more perks going through a registered apprenticeship than going to a four-year college. And you can see the perks here. So with a registered apprenticeship, you get a paycheck on the job training the second the class begins. So that first week you guys are getting paid, as well as the benefits continue on. So the classes continue. You regularly get scheduled pay raises. I know with the Local 286, they do every 6 months, they get a bump increase. And so that's awesome. And then of course you continue with that paycheck and benefits for your family. And I know I work at some schools that are alternative. So some of the students already have it in advanced and stepped in with their family. You know, they created a child or they're married. So the benefits will actually cover them and their spouse. For, you know, medical and stuff like that. And then as well as being able to have that college credit being earned in case they still wanted to pursue some type of, you know, post-secondary education with a local community college or a four-year university, they will have college credit going through that registered apprenticeship that they can transfer over. And of course, $0 in debt. Most of these registered apprenticeships have scholarships to give to their students, and Workforce Solutions helps and assists them with tools and clothing, anything that they may need, that they may lack, as well as other resources that are available to pitch in. And throughout the 4 years or 5 years that they're in the registered apprenticeship, they're not working a 20-hour part-time job at minimum wage. They're making good money for the past 4 to 5 years, and they're also taking that home. So over a course of time, they're making about $257,000 over the course of the 4 years and walking away with zero college debt, whereas a 4-year college student would be making 70 in 4 years and walking away with about $131 in student loans and debt. So you can see the average cost of students is $35,000, and we can say that it increases depending if you're going to a private institution or a public. So you can see on the next one here, they can earn, wages to help their family. And a lot of people talk to me about that at school. Like, I have to go straight into the workforce because my family needs assistance and they need help. Well, this is a great opportunity for them to still go to school and help their family, as well as being able to have a great career ladder to grow upon. Whereas if they're working at like a fast food restaurant, there's really not much of elevating they can do at that place that will stop within the next 2 years. So just kind of showing that as something you guys can look at for your students. This is another little screenshot here that comparisons apprenticeship versus college. Typically 2 to 4 years to complete, depending on what kind of level the apprentice wants. And with college, typically 4 to 5 years to complete. An apprenticeship is $0 in debt, whereas college is higher debt. And of course, they earn money while they're in the trade, where you're not paid to go to college. And then they only learn about a specific trade in the construction, whereas it's a variety of things that somebody can learn. They can change throughout there. I know I changed my major like 2 to 3 times when I was in college. So definitely something to look at when showing your students and talking to them. And I know that Jessica shared this link. If you look on the chat, you can see, if you scroll up just a little bit, you can see the link where Jessica has put in place for this video, where you can actually watch this person's first year apprentice, a day in the life of how her life is and what she does and kind of how her school is. She posted it at 9:47 a.m. So this is Abigail's story about her going through the MC3 class that Brian was talking about, but actually going into the IBEW 520, which is our next speaker, was going to be Mark. So we don't have time to watch this today. It is 4 minutes, but you could totally check this out, share with your students. It is available on our YouTube channel. We have tons of other videos as well as an interview about the MC3 program with Brian on our YouTube if you want to share that later with your students. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a pause there. I'm gonna allow Mark to jump in and unmute himself so that way he can give you this presentation over the electrician overview. If you have any questions for him, just continue the motto and allow to type it into the chat so he can answer it at the end. And I'm gonna go ahead and allow you to speak, Mark. Let me know when you need the next slide.
Oh, okay. My name is Mark Pendleton, a journeyman electrician for IBEW, International Brotherhood of Electric Workers. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks for having us. We have a 5-year program, actually, apprenticeship program that the contractors pay for. Like you were saying, they never pay back a student loan. That's the best part of the whole thing. You can get actively involved in some of the good we do for the community. We do like Habitat for Humanity. We do Blue Santa at Christmas. We help out the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, all the high schools with all kinds of stuff. And we have a scholarship program. Actually, if you do so, you do pay for books. And if you do some of those electives and scholarship programs, or join a committee, like I'm in the picnic committee, if you help set up chairs and clean up and stuff at the union picnic, they'll actually pay for your books for the next year. So you can go for totally for free, which is the best part about the whole thing. You do get Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance for you and the entire family. Our vice president, he had 9 kids, and it covered him, his wife, and the 9 kids for free. That's another good part. Also, you get 3 kinds of retirement: annuity through Prudential Financial, a 401k, and through the company you go for, and then also a pension for the retirement. And just to piggyback on everything, some kids are not geared toward college. Me and my brother, I'm one of 5, and me and my brother went out to the trades, and my sisters are all teachers and all doing very well and everything, but you know, they went the loan route. So yeah, if you have anybody that is looking and good with their hands, or like in ag or in automotive or shop or anything, and you want to send them our way, just let us know. I guess you can go to the next slide. I don't know. It's on the next slide. Just see me. What does it say? Doing it on my phone. Is it a little breakdown of what we do. The hardest part for us is, you know, getting electricians in is it's steady. A lot of the baby boomers are retiring. So yeah, we have seen a loss in a couple of electricians here and there, and it's just getting more and more. So that's why I'm going to recruit from high schools to veterans to just everybody. And we've seen an increase in the last 2 years. And so I've been cranking it out. If you need me to ever speak at your high school anytime, or just talk to one kid or 20, 40, 50, 100 kids, let us know. We can totally do that. Also, if you want to take a tour of the training center anytime, let us know. I guess just go to the next slide. I don't know. Typically what we do, you can see all this construction, what we do, blueprints and layout. And the funny thing is too, going through the MC3 program is awesome, because they do get an insight of what, you know, we build everything from scratch. We dig ditches, we pull the wire, we put the temporary wire in for the big cranes that do all, you know, everything for, you know, big parking garages at the airport to high rises downtown to old folks' homes in Lakeway. I mean, all kinds of stuff. So it just depends on, you know, where you go and what you do. And I think a lot of kids don't realize that you're going to be sweating, you're going to be cold, you're going to be working. You're never going to need, I guess, a gym membership kind of thing. But yeah, if you go to the next slide, let me see what this is. Yeah, indoors, outdoor, heat, airing, all that stuff, climb up ladders, all that good stuff. I hit all that pretty much on the head. Go to the next one if you would, please, man. There's some goofy looking dude. The money's good. So like you were saying, just real quick, starting out an apprenticeship, kids make $15.30. You do get a half-year raise after 6 months. First to second year, you get a $2.66 raise. Second to third year, you get like a $3 raise until you make what I make, $38.42 an hour. You see $30 on the check. What that means is the contractors, it's in our contract that they put in for the insurance and all that stuff. But in 5 years, that'll be like $35. And then total package will be like $45. So eating, go away. Sorry. So anyways, but yeah, it doesn't stop there. Just for the journeyman, you can, start your own company, like you were saying. You can actually, become the training director. You can become an organizer, president, BA, business. You can go international if you want. Also, once you get that journeyman or journeywoman ticket, you can actually go and travel. So we're international. So you can go to San Francisco, it's making $74 an hour. Anything after 40 is time and a half, double time on Sundays and holidays. They're making $148 an hour after 40, because they just mess with double time. My buddy in Worcester, Massachusetts, he's in local 96. He's making $48 an hour. He always likes to brag. He's making $100 an hour. Hate that guy. Not really, I'm just kidding. Go to the next slide, if you would, please. Let's see here. And the Lone Star ladies, I know they're here. I don't know if they want to talk about, but this is a great opportunity. It's a week-long course. You're rough in a room. They teach them how to do plugs and switches and all that kind of good stuff. Darcy was my journeywoman back in the day. Taught me everything I know. It was great. If you want them to talk on it, or what do you think, Steph?
Yeah, I wanted to definitely share this flyer just for any teachers or counselor who have any access to students who graduated in class of 2020. Darcy, you're more than welcome to speak about this if you're here and would like to. If not, I have the flyer here. Looks like it is actually going to be starting for the next cohort in March 22nd. So that's actually coming up really, really soon. And we have the LoneStarCCT.org available for them to apply to. Let's see. Hearing more stuff. So yes, if you can see here, the class highlights the OSHA 10, blueprint reading, job safety. And so if if Mark approves of them, then I definitely will take his word for it. I know a lot of students have seen this opportunity as a great way to get in the door to see if this is something that they might want to bite into before actually committing into the whole 4 or 5 years. So it's a great way for them to wet their feet, figure out what they're doing. Every time I see somebody just very stressed out at their job, like if I'm stopping through a drive-through,
How you would think, hey, it's us.
and I like to share flyers with them so that way we're like, hey, you don't have to do this forever. You can make more money. I mean, I almost might do this myself so I can make 148, right, Mark?
Yes.
That's awesome. So Darcy, I see you're here. Would you like to speak about this a little bit?
Hi, see if I actually, Rebecca's ready to speak. I'm going to be posting our stuff on the chat while she's speaking.
Wonderful. Okay, sounds great.
Thank you. I got
Okay, Rebecca, whenever you're ready.
I'm Rebecca Young. I'm with Lone Star Construction Trades Training. Sorry, we have 2 computers in here. Okay. So we offer a 40-hour hands-on pre-apprenticeship training. We're both journeyman electricians. We teach the classes. I totally lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, you guys. If you come take our class, it's about 80% hands-on. We do it at the Austin Electrical Training Alliance. We work hand in hand with the IBEW very closely. At the end of the training, we pay for your OSHA 10 link so you can get your OSHA 10 card out of it. We pay for your apprentice license. We give you a really nice set of tools. It's like a nice Klein tool set. So when you walk out the door, you have a good starter set of tools to go to the job and start with. I'm totally lost my train of thought. We help anybody we can get into the apprenticeship.
It's totally free too. I'm sorry, I kind of put y'all on the spot. I know you weren't ready for. Sorry.
I wasn't, and then the whole computer echoing threw me off. Mark, talk about us.
Yes, so it's totally free. It's a week-long course, and it's right at the training center, like Rebecca said. And if they really like it, whoever, guys, girls, everybody, you just walk them right down, and then you can do the apprenticeship and sign the application and start the apprenticeship at the school. It's a great opportunity. Like I said, you rough in a room, you learn a little hands-on pipe bending and all that kind of good stuff. Some MC work and some just wiring up some devices. And then the favorite part that I like to tell kids, you build a little robot, you plug your phone into it, you get to take it home. That's pretty cool too. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. And it's free, totally free. And I'd like to piggyback on that is I do have a summer work kids. I got over 30 kids last year that, wanted to see how the trade was. If they want to, and they can be 17. I have some contractors that'll take 17 and 18-year-olds. I can get them some boots, but I can throw them out to some contractors for $15 an hour. So if you got that kid in the summertime or, somebody sitting on the couch or, someone that wants a job and just interested, let me know and we can get them out to work. So we can get everybody out to work. Tesla's huge. So we need 600 electricians real quick. No big deal. I think that's all I got, Miss Steph.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you, Rebecca and Darcy, for jumping in. Yes, we can't highlight this enough. So just if you have any contact still with any students that are graduated class of 2020, or if they graduated in December of 2020, please let them know about this great opportunity. They might need to let their employer know, they need this week off. So just letting them know ahead of time will be great. And then of course, just getting in contact with Rebecca and Darcy for any future ones, if this one is too soon and not enough notice for your students. So thank you. We're going to go ahead and move to the next one. So I just wanted to share this coming up with you guys here. So this is Skilled Point Alliance. So they actually have a pre-apprenticeship for the electrical like career pathway as well. So this is going to be an electrical helper. So they actually have training too. So this is actually 4 weeks long, not a 40 hour per week training. So it's Monday through Friday, 8 to 3. And so it actually has an optional in-person training for the hands-on skills that are going to be provided, as well as connection to the industry employers. So this is going to be a great way for a student to kind of get in as well whenever they're ready, if they kind of want to figure out their avenue of what they want to do. I have a great contact here. So Aaron, he's actually the director of programs, and his email if you guys have any questions regarding this. But I did want to share SkillPoint's electrical helper program as well. So this is a great way for them to get their foot in the door if they're not ready to absolutely commit as well. And I wanted to showcase as well the Goodwill and Career Technical Academy. They have an electrical helper program as well. So with their requirements, you need the photo ID, authorization to work here, as well as a high school diploma or a GED. And you must pass the background check for them and pass the entrance exam assessments that they have. So they actually have a couple of career centers that you can attend for any type of financial assistance services or career advancement. They have tons of other trainings as well. But since we're talking about the electrical field, I wanted to highlight this electrical helper program that they have. So if you guys can tell, there's so many ways for your students to get into this electrical field, just depending on which route they want to go and works best with their schedule and their time. So for the electrical helper, it assists the journeyman and foreman on installing any type of wiring and equipment. So if they have any questions here, I have a good contact as well. You guys can also visit any of their career centers, but it's a great way to let your students know of all the possibilities. They can either go with the GCTA or they can go with SkillPoint Alliance. They can contact Workforce Solutions for the We Work Now because we actually program with them as well. If they want to go straight to IBEW, they can, or if they want to visit Lone Star for a quick 40-hour 1 week training to kind of get their foot in the door. And of course, it's free. I mean, there's so many opportunities for them to get in into this field. And now you saw the demand is definitely in need. So we have a couple online resources for you guys. Our main website for the capital area is wfscapitalarea.com. So that's our main website. We also have Jobs Now, which is a great way for anybody who's job searching or going through any of our services. And Work in Texas is another spot as well. And we also have our own career exploration website. So this is going to be all things exploring careers. So all the websites, all the booklets that we've made, all the videos, and our team is going to be on there for you to get direction to. And then on the chat, Jessica has shared the targeted occupations list, which you might have heard of TOL, if we have said that that's what that means. And then our Rework Now referral and intake form available for anybody who wants to advance in training through that with Workforce. We have some upcoming events for April. We have our Workforce Solutions events calendar on our website, which is going to show you like any type of resume writing workshops, soft skills, career fairs, virtual ones as well. And then our Workforce Wednesday webinar, which is every second Wednesday of the month. And so we just had one yesterday, which covered the healthcare employers. So this was really great turnout. We had about 700 people register for that. So they were really interested. Students were able to kind of see Baylor, Scott and White, Ascension, a total different people from the healthcare field. So we will have the same thing in April to look out for. So you can register with that. Another thing for any teachers that I have here that are in the capital area, we have our teacher externship opportunity that's going to take place this summer, 2021. It's actually starting in June. And so this is great to introduce teachers to employers physically into the place. So we have a webinar option and we also have an on-site option. So this is a great way for teachers to visit the employers, develop lesson plans based off of their experience on-site at these job spots, as well as to teach their students about the skills, certification, certifications that are required and needed from the employer that they were visiting. So participants do receive a stipend, which is awesome. We have a link here for them to sign up. And if they have any questions, you can reach out our Career and Education Outreach Specialist, Shannon Scriven. And her email here is on the red. And I will be sharing these flyers at the end with you guys as well, just so that way you can have everything digitally. So if you want to share, maybe you're thinking of somebody else, you can do so. And of course, our next April career fields that we have is actually April 8th is the next K-12 skill trades meeting, and we're going to cover the career as a plumber and pipe fitter. So we have special guest Brian Peabody with the Local 286 who will talk about his journey and what a plumber does, as well as Kevin with Skill Point Alliance. He is going to talk about their program that they have available for students. So look out for that. If you'd like to register to attend that one, it's going to be April 8th. I'll make sure to drop that so that way you can register in advance and get that link. It looks like we have a couple more minutes here. I wanted to see if anybody had any questions. Let me check the chat box. I know Jessica is dropping down some of the websites and links that we had here. So I want you guys to network as well. Looks like Bobby's already going ahead and doing that. So he has asked if any students are interested in career as a carpenter. They have tons of opportunities with no sign of slowing down. That's absolutely true. And they always are open to host field trips to their training facility, which is right off of South I-35. If you ever are going downtown from north, you will see them on your right side. Very beautiful building. So they are actually located right there before the Riverside exit. So if anybody's interested, Bobby Vasquez is with the Carpenters Union here in Austin, Texas. If you want any students to do any field trips or have him come talk to your kids, please let him know. I know he was just in Fort Hood doing a little graduation ceremony or something for some soldiers out there and some people in the area. So, I mean, he's everywhere, but they all love to be just like Mark and Brian. They're always willing to show up and speak about their trade and their career field. Let's see what else we have. Mark put his information here, his email, his phone number. If you guys have any additional questions about the electrical field with IBEW, you can feel free to reach out to him. And then of course we got Darcy who input her Facebook page for the Lone Star, as well as Women in Construction Week that they're going to be highlighting a few of their grads. So be sure to check that out. You can reach out to Rebecca Young or Darcy. They put their information on the chat. So this is great, just allowing everybody to network. Is there any questions that anybody else has for Mark, or anybody have any questions for Jessica over the information that she had provided over the data? Looks like we'll do that.
Stephanie, this is Jessica. I don't have a question, but I do want to share that after this meeting, Stephanie's going to send out a follow-up email with this slide deck and all relevant links and all that good stuff. We will also have a post survey. So in the survey, we have a question about what other trades you want to learn about. You know, I shared Bobby can come back and talk about the carpentry field. We love that. But if y'all have any others, please fill out that post survey so we can invite more professionals to come speak with you all.
Yes, speak about their career field and everything, any kind of opportunities that they may have. So that is a great way for us to know exactly what you're looking for. I know you said opportunities for students, but what in particular are your students asking for within the skilled trades that can help us? So please contact us if you have any students who need any additional support. I'm here, I serve Austin ISD as well as Del Valle ISD. And we have Shannon Scriven who covers Pflugerville, Manor, and Elgin ISD as well. If you're in the rural capital area, we can connect you with any of your contacts there so that way you can receive the same services from them. Let's be social. Please follow us on our Instagram, our Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Our Instagram is handled by us, that we are Career and Education Outreach Specialists, as well as the labor market and our supervisor, Leslie Puckett. But we share all of the flyers. And if you have a flyer with an upcoming event that you want us to share on our page, we would love to do so. Just go ahead and send that over to us at our career letter at wfscapitalarea.com. or you can check us out on our YouTube. We have tons of interviews with individuals that are outside of skilled trades and healthcare and IT, you name it. If you need any type of support or presenter, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Looks like I'm going to be giving you guys a couple more minutes of back on your time. So thank you so much for attending, and please fill out that survey for us. That's going to be greatly appreciated and helpful for the next ones. I had a tremendous time here with you guys. If you have any questions, please reach out to me, stephanie.godlidon@wfscapitalarea.com. Thank you. I will go ahead and check the chat one last time, but other than that, you guys are free to go. Please let us know of anything else that we could do for you. Thank you so much for attending.
All right, later.